So we will resume from where we left off, how Satan, Shaytan, he works, his mode of operation, MO. We talked about it briefly, and we said that he does not have power over us. And we discussed how in the Quran there's a verse where Satan says that I did not have power over you. I only suggested things and you obeyed. So it's your fault for being in trouble now. So we look at the story of Adam and Eve, Adam and Hawa. And as kids, when we learn that story, a lot of times it just seems like Satan came, he just said, you should do this. So they did it, and that's basically it. But when you actually analyze the Quran, you see there are different passages that talk about it, and there are separate accounts. Like there's addition to something else in another account which was not present in the first one. So it's actually a back and forth. The one thing to notice is that Allah Azza wa Jalla, He does not tell us what Adam alayhi salam is saying, but He does tell us what Satan is saying, because we don't need to. This is a rule in the Quran. A lot of times we get absorbed in things that are not necessary for us. So Allah Azza wa Jalla skips those things. You don't have to worry about what Adam said. Worry about what Satan said, because that you will have to deal with all your life. So that's where the lesson is. So what happened with him? So the scholars, they say there's a difference of opinion, but mostly the ones that they agree on, they say it was like a 4-step process. So first he just tempts him. So he just lays out something. That is his vulnerability. Everybody has vulnerabilities. Humans have some general vulnerabilities, and some of them have some weaknesses that are unique to them. Like somebody may be interested in wealth a lot more than others, or food a lot more than others. So, but he exploits a general vulnerability over here. The desire for permanence. Everybody, humans, we want to live for a longer while, a long time. So Adam and Hawa, they're very, very happy in paradise, and they want to stay there. So he comes and he says, Ya Adam, in the Quran it says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, Ya Adam, ألا أدلك على شجرة الخلد وملك لا يبلى. Should I tell you about this tree of eternity and a kingdom that will never cease to exist because of it? If you consume it, then you'll live forever, you'll have this kingdom forever. So when he points to the tree, now we don't know what Adam said, but it's quite obvious from his next statement that Satan makes, that he probably said, okay, if that's the one, I've been told لا تقرب هذه الشجرة. I've been told don't go close to this tree. I'm not gonna do it. So Satan what does he say? Now he's rationalizing. First he tempts, and now that he's thrown the hook, now he's gonna rationalize. He's gonna say, ما نهاكما ربكما عن هذه الشجرة إلا, your Lord, He told you not to consume it because إلا, except that أن تكون من الملكين أو تكون من أن تكون ملكين أو تكون من الخالدين, that you will become angels. Like if you can consume it, you'll become immortal. Basically, you'll live forever. That is the reason why you were told not to consume it. So now rationally he's been aced by Satan. So he's like, okay, so well, if that is the case, but I have been told not to consume it. So even if it gives me the benefit, I will probably not do it. And then what does he do? وَقَاسَمَهُمَا. He takes an oath on Allah. Satan, he takes an oath on Allah. Now, at this point, Adam is thinking, alayhi salam, that, well, this person, he knows the magnificence of Allah. He's been here way before I have. He's been closer to Allah than I was. He knows more about it. He cannot take a false oath. Again, this is a vulnerability. It's innocence, human innocence, I was like, there's no way he's going to take a false oath. So he is telling me the truth. Maybe that is the test. Maybe I should listen to my brain or whatnot. So he consumes it. So Allah Azza wa Jal, He describes this process as adallahuma. Like dalv, it's like a bucket that you put in the wells. We don't have wells over here, but when you lower a bucket, dalv, that's a bucket. So dalla is like actually the action of lowering that bucket. You don't throw that bucket in the well. You lower it. So it's like slowly done. So Allah Azza wa Jal, He's describing the process. It was done slowly. It wasn't just like that. It was done slowly. So Adam, he was given a temptation, then he thought about it, then he came up with something else. So he made another comeback. They both retaliated, rebutted. Eventually, he was like, okay, maybe I should consume it. So he consumed it. So what do we learn from this? We learn that first we get tempted, and once we take the bait, then he will rationalize. And if we start rationalizing with him, he's more knowledgeable than we are. We will not beat him. So where do we stop? We stop at the vulnerability itself. As soon as we are tempted and we realize we are being tempted, we stop. We don't start rationalizing, because he will win. In that war of attrition, he will win. So for us, the lesson is that firstly we remove the vulnerability. Does anyone remember which hadith we were discussing that got us to this? Or have we forgotten again? It was this one. Yeah, the 3 knots one, right? So when he starts approaching us and he starts saying things, go to sleep, alayka laylun tawil, you have a lot of time, we don't fall into that trap. We just go, no, I'm not going to, and I'm going to get up. Just get up immediately. And even in life, this is just according to the hadith, in perspective of the hadith, but even in life, when we start doing something wrong and when we start rationalizing it, realize that this is the whispers, this is the waswasa. So if somebody is watching something and they shouldn't be watching it, once they realize they shouldn't be watching it, and if they're like, well, I'm watching it for the lesson so I can become wise and I can apply it to my life, and I'm not, you've already started a battle that you will not win. You will lose it. They will end up watching something that they shouldn't be watching and doing something that they shouldn't be doing. So when you start rationalizing something, a bad thought, that means he's working, and you will eventually lose. So just stop. So may Allah Azza wa Jal enable us to understand. There's just one part of the hadith that's left, and I will just revise the hadith so everybody has it in their mind for tomorrow. That Satan, he ties 3 knots at the back of a person when he goes to sleep. And at every knot, he actually blows the words and he says, you have a long time in front of you, a long night, keep sleeping, don't wake up. But when a person wakes up and he does dhikr of Allah, he remembers Allah Azza wa Jal, one of the knot, it opens up. The second one opens up when he does wudu, and the third one opens up when he prays. And the last part of the hadith is, when he does that, he is tayyib an-nafs, and he's nasheet, he's fresh, he wakes up active, he wakes up fresh with a nice heart, pure heart. And if that does not nafs. And if he does not do that, then he wakes up with a corrupted nafs, kaslan, very lazy. The last part is, there are many people who don't even believe in Allah, and we see them crushing it. They wake up at 5 and they're just, running their company and they're doing 100 things. They don't even pray. They don't even believe in Allah, let aside pray. So, well, according to the hadith, they should be lazy. And they're not. How do we justify that? So inshallah tomorrow we'll talk about that. Jazakumullahu khairan. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.